Hey guys, Perry Hensley here, Slab Happy Lures, down here on Chickamauga Lake today. A little pre-fishing. This won't come out until after the tournament, but we got a tournament tomorrow to fish, and today we're just collecting some of these, I'm gonna say free-water fish that we probably won't even fish during the tournament. So, but anyway, hang with us. We'll be right back. Today's video is brought to you in part by Windrider Apparel, Mossine Market and Deli, Artistic Printers, Rebel River Outlet, Mammoth Ridge RV Park, The Angler Magazine, Bait Pop Live Sonar Intensifier, Rougarou Tackle Company, and Slab Happy Lures. Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone's doing okay out there. It's Perry Hensley here. Slab Happy Lures is going to come with you guys and give you an update on the Chickamauga tournament we just had Saturday. And to let you guys know where we're sitting in the points race now, and to let you know we're right outside the bracket, and we had a pretty rough start beginning of the tournament season here. Didn't place too well in the first couple of tournaments, which is, okay. Sometimes it happens that way, and we're not going to get too bent out of shape of it. We got to be out there fishing and having fun, and hopefully sharing Christ's character with other people, and maybe helping them to see Christ in us, that we might change some lives, with the Lord's help. Not anything that we could do, not any glory be to us, or anything like that. We're not like that. We try to live as clean and as best as we can. We're still human. There's not too many of us that I've ever known, if any, besides Christ, that lived a perfect life. And we ain't going to pretend that we are. Do we do the things we used to do? No, but somewhere or another, sin can wiggle in, and and I thank God that He helps us recognize when we need to get it out, when we need to check up, and get our heart right, and I thank God for discernment. I thank God for the condemnation that I feel, if I do mess up and do something wrong, it's instant, and it's like getting stabbed in the back with a knife, or in the chest, I should say. It takes the breath out of you, and thank God for that, the Holy Spirit convicting us if we do something wrong. Now, again, I'm not saying that we're doing anything wrong, out here. We ain't slipped away from God. We've not backslid, but sin is so prevalent in this world that stuff like that, is real. You got to admit to it. We're not Christians aren't perfect. We're just people that are trying, that have faith in Jesus Christ and what He did on that cross. But I'm back at the tournament here. Like I said, we had a rough start this season, and it's okay. And we actually would have started out in sixth position this year, and and due to the bad tournaments that we had, the bad turnout of the tournament, we had dropped all the way to the 11th position. And as of right now, we're sitting in seventh. We're right outside the bracket, like I said, to fish for Angler of the Year. And boy, there's some tough teams up there, and um, again, anybody at any time in that top 10 can just, move up. Uh, there's so many good anglers out there, and um, we'll invite everybody again, that hasn't fished with the East Tennessee Crappie Tournament Trail. Um, Come on out and fish with us, and test yourself. Step outside your comfort zone, and we're coming to Douglas pretty soon, and that's a local lake for us. You know, try it on your home lake. Give it a shot. You never know what might happen. Um, Again, it's easy to sit back and um, on your own lake um, and boast about catching your limit every time you go out, or um, or making the claim that you're a really good crappie fisherman. I thought I was a really good crappie fisherman until I joined East Tennessee Crappie Tournament Trail, but come to find out, I was mediocre, and um, it's easy to sit back, and like I said, make your brags, make your claims that um, you're a great crappie fisherman, and you may be on that one lake, but it's going when it's not fair weather outside. It's going when you got uh, your equipment breaking down. It's going uh, when it's 20 degrees and you got 2 miles to run up the lake, or three, and um, all these factors are different from when you can just go out when you want to and catch fish. And again, catching tournament crappie is different than just go out and catching crappie. To me, I believe it's a whole different fish. The There's a difference in catching your 10-inch crappie and putting them in a live well, and that's another thing. You got to keep your fish alive, and there's things you got to do to that. We've learned all this along the way in the last 3 or 4 years that we've been fishing this. I think it's 3 years now. Um, it's not as easy as people think it would be, and going against these guys again, I'm gonna be saying that, as long as I fish this tournament trail, and even afterwards, these are good guys that that know where the fish are going to be, that know the fish characteristics enough that when the weather changes, what they're going to do to catch those tournament fish in tough weather. I am not great at it yet. I am learning. I have learned so much by fishing with these guys, and I fish for crappie all my life, pretty much. And I've learned so much in the last 3 years. JD and I both have. But anyway, I want to come let y'all know that we have moved up. In the points race, we have moved up 2 spots, and we were able to pass Buck Collins and Chris Sims. And but again, Chris Sims is an up and comer who's spent a lot of time. He's one of the Slab Happy team members, and he's dedicated. He puts in the time. He's out on the water. He's studying the fish. He's talking to other people. He's taking notes. He's learning. He's doing things that I need to be doing. And he's climbing to the top. He's getting better at it, and I just give him all the kudos, that he deserves, and I'm proud, to see people be that, and do that. Um, think a lot of him. He's a good person besides, and then you got your regulars, um, Ryan and Ty Kofelt, they won the Chickamauga tournament first place this year. They won it last year. They have been strong coming up, and they have figured some stuff out too, and they're going to be up there too. It's not going to be the same ones on top. There's people rising. There's people learning. Tom Claxton and George Hamby, those two guys, they've stepped it up. And uh, a lot of them are coming up because of the stuff that they've learned fishing this crappie trail. It does get expensive, and let me say that I thank each and every one of our sponsors that have stepped up and helped JD and I, through all this, since the beginning. It's people like them that help us do what we do, and that we're able to do what we do as much as we do. I can't thank our sponsors enough, and you can see them on the opening credits of this video and on the ending as well. And we just we're happy to have who we have, and we put our faith and trust in God. We go out, fishing every tournament and leaning on God. Uh, sometimes we have to remind ourselves, that we can't leave it all on God's, behalf. To get us where we need to be, we need to sacrifice and do some stuff to get us there. These next couple of tournaments are going to tell the tale. We were going to have to. We got Watts Bar coming up in January. We got Douglas coming up in February, and Del Hollow coming up in March. And we're going to have to shine pretty good on that if we're going to get in the top six. We're just, we're going to have to. We're going to have to catch tournament fish, and put our faith in God and, in whatever He has for us. Are we going to make it? Are we pretty confident we can make it? We feel good about it. We'll just wait and see, how much we're willing to step outside of our comfort zone time and time again, to make that happen. It all comes down to dedication and whatever God has for us there. And if you don't have, God to lean on in these tournaments, you can leave it to chance, and I don't want to leave it to chance. I'd rather leave it to God and God's control of everything. So, but anyway, just want to give you an update on that. I tried to record some video in this tournament the day before. Like I said, we caught a lot of fish. We caught probably 120 keepers. That's outside of, well, I'm going to say fish, not keepers. Outside of the yellow bass that we caught, outside of the bluegill. Caught some huge bluegill down there. JD did especially. Caught a huge, caught a 4-pound bass, largemouth, and it's just Chickamauga is an awesome fishery. Fish everywhere. Again, catching a tournament fish and catching a live well fish are two different things, and we have got to get that down better and be more disciplined about getting those fish in the boat. But anyway, I just want to come let you guys know I'm going to post the results up here as far as the points go and who's sitting in the bracket. There's just 1 point separating JD and I and Chris Sims, and it's close, and the odds are in his favor coming to Watts Bar, even though we feel good about it. But the odds are in our favor on Douglas in February. So, it's still going to be I hope it's going to be a close race that makes it interesting. And again, you can't count out any guys in that top 10. or any of them below that top 10. You know, there's good fishermen down there that's not fished as much this year that would be up there in that top 10. And I'm just thankful that we're able to get out and do what we do, and we can do it only through God and, you know, our sponsors, you know, that help us, our families that, you know, um, that go along with us taking the time to fish these tournaments. But the main thing keeping us going and putting us where we're at is, you know, God. And I want to say that, you know, if you don't know Christ today, we ask that you consider Him. You know, consider living this life. Consider what He has for you. You know, I come from a junkie past. You know, uh, I come from uh, being in a bar almost every weekend, and being drunk almost every weekend, and drinking besides. You know, every function that came up, you know, was an excuse to drink. Uh, but you know, God has brought me out of that. You know, and He's blessed me with my business, Slab Happy Lures. He's blessed my wife with her job. Uh, um, she's moved up in her job since then. You know, my fishing career has taken off really good. You know, my business come up really good, and all that because we surrendered to the Lord. You know, enjoying life. You know, I've got uh, been blessed with 7 grandchildren now, and man, God has done so much in my life in the last little bit, and since I've turned everything over to Him, um, I, you know, it's like night and day. You know, um, it's stepping out. You know, and hitting a new level in life because of Christ. And you can have it too. I'm nobody special. You know, He died for you as much as He died for me. And again, I have sin in my life. Uh, for those who say that they don't, you know, the Bible calls them a liar. You know, and we just got to keep pushing forward. You know, and living this life. You know, it's great. I have peace when I shouldn't have peace. When I'm going through trials and tribulations now. You know, things that would have sent me to the ER with a panic attack uh, doesn't bother me now. You know, the panic attacks are virtually gone, and I used to be in the ER once or twice a month there for a while with them. Um, but anyway, I'm gonna let you go for now, and just want to give everyone an update, and you know, and invite everyone out to see, you know, what they can do in these tournaments. You know, you don't have to fish, but you know, 1, 2, 3 a year. You know, to get into the classic, and you know, and we have a ball at it. It's a lot of good fellowship with other people of Christ, you know, and um, we hope to see you there. But anyway, until next time, I'm Perry Hensley with Slab Happy Lures. We'll see you.